My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galadirithon, the head of Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the Anduin campaign. My plan here is to release these 3 Anduin videos, and then I shall return to the cycle. So this marks the 3rd episode of this series indeed. Then after this I shall return to Umbar, and then it will be Northern Dunedain, Dorwinian, Anduin, Umbar, I believe will be the cycle. Or will it? No, uncertain. But the 4 will flow in that way, so I will try and do it that they go in a pattern. And if I do 2 videos for a certain series, then they'll take up the place where that 1 normally would go, and then I'd continue on after that as normal. And then look to drop in some of those lore videos a little later on when I've got some more time.
Yes, my lord.
So we're back. I noticed Hummingbird's comment about how I may be a little used to playing with factions who are maybe slightly easy or slightly wealthier. And so the change to Anduin has been somewhat of a shock with how little money we've got.
Your orders, yes,
and
my lord.
I must confess that I somewhat agree.
Your orders, my lord.
I've come at this a bit blasé, really, haven't I? We're whittling down the defenders of Éothéod,
Yes.
and everyone else
Yes, my lord.
is doing
Yes.
something. Oh, bugger.
Your orders,
This
my
is
lord.
why we need clear scouting
With
in all of
honor.
our lands.
Making camp here.
Yes, my lord.
Huntmaster Beorn, you're
My
not
lord.
really needed, but the defenders
Orders.
are. So.
By your command. As you wish.
Your orders, my lord.
I haven't written down any
Yes, my
questions
lord.
that have been asked. I'm afraid no one's really asked too
Yes,
many
my lord.
law-related questions as far as I've seen.
Untrustworthy foe, what lies do you bring us then? No, we will not. Goodbye.
Yes,
Very well, I'll have to find you out manually.
without question.
And behind the scenes
Stopping
in the mod,
here.
Hummingbird made a few minor changes, but nothing too major. There was a unit that Misty Mountains had that Angmar also had, and whilst they were identical units, they occupied 2 separate unit slots in the Edu, so we did away with one of them. So we got another unit slot in the export descript unit, so we have another unit to play with. Oh dear. Oh, Lord Kamul, of course, as Hummingbird said. He is not locked. Oh, I forgot to edit his trait. Sorry, Hummingbird. Well, I'm going to defeat them anyway, aren't I? So what does it matter? We'll put up with it for now. I'll explain that as the end turn goes. We're going to lock Kamul to Dol Guldur, because Dol Guldur, now that we've done away with that Teutonic system whereby factions couldn't be killed through regicide. Obviously, we did away with that because it was crashing the game for
We
everyone.
bring word for you.
So instead,
Cannot thank you
but
enough.
so a
And
few
pleasure.
factions now are
Farewell.
quite susceptible to regicide, and Dol Guldur are the main culprits. So in an attempt to stop that, similarly to Saruman and Denethor, we've tried to lock, or Hummingbird so far has locked Kamul in Dol Guldur. But Kamul unfortunately has a single trait with him that only he possesses, that allows him, that increases his movement speed by something like 10%. So the trait, so he's being locked, but then this extra
Your order.
trait is taking effect
Yes,
afterwards. So
I shall
essentially, he can
continue
move
tomorrow.
1 square per turn. As you can see, he's moved from the crossroads to there, whereas we want him to be locked within Dol Guldur. So by the time you play 1.0,
Your
he will be
orders, my
locked
lord.
inside Dol Guldur. There won't be any
Yes.
question of that.
This
But in
tower
this
will
campaign,
keep
he's going
vigil
to
over the lands.
agonizingly slowly
With
move
honor.
towards Roscabel. So I apologize for that in advance.
Yes, my lord.
Well, the Misty Mountains have thought better
Hiding
of
from the
continuing
enemy.
their campaign and have fled
This
back to
tower
their
will keep
caves.
vigil over the lands.
They've got nothing. They've got pitiful people coming toward us now.
Your orders,
Although there's
my
someone
lord.
standing on that tower. If you are wondering how I know that, then, and
This
if you didn't know
tower will
this,
keep
then I can let you
vigil
know
over the
that
lands.
if you stand a unit on a tower, it removes that tower's bonus for the faction that own it. Rebel factions and slaves, not slaves, they're slaves because that's their name in the files. The rebel faction are very fond of dropping their units on top of your towers just to annoy you. So you have to try and find sneaky ways around it. Right, we
Yes,
have
my lord.
finally taken
With honor.
Éothéod. Although, for some reason because he's still within his movement
I'm a
arc.
warrior, not a diplomat.
Right, Roscabel holds. But is it going to defeat that
I'm
army?
gonna
Not if
stick
Kamul's at the
you.
head. But Kamul has probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's probably got 10 to 11 turns before he arrives there.
Your orders, my lord.
But as I say, I would have defeated... I'm going to defeat
Yes, my
Dol Guldur
lord.
anyway, so it doesn't matter in this campaign.
I'm gonna stick you.
2 units of snaggers.
Have a taste of my
Mountain
blade.
Orcs. Mountain Orcs versus
Your
Huntmaster
orders, my
Beorn
lord.
and
Yes, my
Grimbeorn. And let's take some archers with us
Assembling
as
a
well.
mighty host by your command. We shall engage.
I am going to fight this to cut down on our losses.
Muster your courage, men. We march into battle.
I noticed I watched back the second episode of this the other day when I was waking up in the morning, and I noticed that at this screen it shows you the game bar thing in the corner, doesn't it? But that's not really a massive problem, is it? Let's be honest. Alright. We have hidden archers. And with any luck, we can potentially... can these not hide, actually, thinking about it? We might be able to get the Mountain Orcs to come at us. No, we can't. Very well, we'll just fire as many arrows at them as we can. Oh, they're moving. We're in range. Now, archers are the best way of bringing these guys down because they have no armor at all. They have 7 defense skill, but defense skill plays no part in calculations when arrows are being fired at you. And as you can see, they are being slaughtered as they run towards us.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Speed it up.
The enemy army flees the field. Be
We lost
awed
no
by
one.
the victory we have won here today.
If I had auto-resolved, maybe I would have lost 2, 3 or 4 potentially, but there's no guarantee they would have come out of the archer battalions, and the archer battalions will not self-replenish, auto-replenish. Whereas the Beorning skin changers will.
There is no glory in hiding. We have triumphed. I'm gonna stick you.
Should we have a look at what their capital looks like?
Your orders, my lord.
With honor, as you
How about
command,
the
we shall prevail. Yes.
faction leaders in Goblin-town? Oh, well, that does make sense. It is their capital. We've got a grain exchange in Celeburg. That's good to know. And who
Yes,
are you?
my lord.
Mountain Orc diplomat.
My lord.
Where am I sending Radagast? What's our plan with you? Maybe get map information from Dol Guldur, see if they
Stopping
game.
here. Yes, my lord.
and another in turn. I thought they'd attack. I am not going to fight this battle. Whilst I have faith that the Beornings have the strength, losing our faction leader and heir in one battle potentially is too great a risk. Although we can always run away, couldn't we? Let's do it. Let's do it.
We attack.
I like Goblin-town. It's one of my favourite custom settlements added by Leo.civil.uefs. I apologise if that is not how he likes his name to be read, but that is how his name is spelt. And therefore I am left with no choice but to say it as it is.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
Well, they're miles away, which is a good thing, because they're in the mountains. So we have plenty of time to set up on this small hill here. How are they going to be coming toward us? They're going to be running around there, and they're going to be coming out of this mountain exit. There's a very strong possibility we're going to win this on time, because it might take them ages just to get round to us. But they certainly can't come that way, so we've only got to... There's no point delaying it for no reason. And they don't have any archers, so let's move our archers up. And have Grimbeorn ready to pounce from that side, and Beorn ready to pounce from that side. And we'll speed it up and see what happens. We won't see them until they come round that corner, I don't think. Unless, well, I mean, I can visibly see them coming, but the map I don't think will show them up. This is Goblin-town. Thoroughly enjoyable campaign map, battle map. Fortunately one that does have textures, so there aren't black or white walls everywhere. Although in an interesting twist, the enemy is doing nothing. Which is very, very disappointing, because if they just sit there and do nothing, it will end in a draw, I think, and we'll claim Goblin-town without even having to fight them, just through a technicality. So we'll leave it on time 6. No point delaying it. The Vale of Anduin faction, in terms of modding, were not created by DAC. We did not create this faction. We simply half-inched it, to coin a phrase. We stole it, or rather, we got permission to use the faction from Frome/Frogs. Forgotten Realms of Middle-earth, or as it is now known, Forgotten... I don't actually know what Frog stands for. But Araval heads up Frogs. I've mentioned him a few times, and he currently heads up Frogs. I'm fairly certain on his own, and he still works hard and gets changes out. And very enjoyable little mod which adds Lothlorien, Anduin, and I think Dunland. So those 3 are all taken from Frome. But Frome initially was created a very, very long time ago, and some of the Lothlorien look that is now being used on Thranduil's realm is a product of the original mod all that time ago. Many of the Vale of Anduin units come from the Ruisici mod, which is a Russian mod for Med 2, the base game, and I think it just improves on Russia in general, increasing the number of factions, potentially more units up there. Not represented as well in the base game. So that's where the origin of the faction comes from in terms of the game. Somebody did ask me actually if there were a faction that I would want to see in the game. Asked, is there any other faction left that I would want to add? And the answer simply is no, unfortunately, because there really isn't anyone sort of left. I don't think there are any factions that are really left alive. I mean, I would really like the Oricani Dwarves to be a faction, but I'm trying to make it as dedicated to lore as possible, and no matter how you try and word it, there is no way on earth the Oricani Dwarves would be part of the Battle of Middle-earth, the War of the Ring, because the Oricani Mountains are far, far to the east, thanks to the break of symmetry created by Morgoth's coming to Arda, or the Earth. Initially, the Earth was created to be completely symmetrical, and it was a thing of beauty. So the blue mountains on the western edge and the red mountains on the eastern edge. But it was the illusion of symmetry, or not illusion of symmetry, but the symmetry was shattered by Morgoth's coming to and his impact on Arda, because he didn't want it to be this perfect creation, and he wanted to rule over it himself anyway. But that's by the by. So that's why there's not sort of perfect symmetry, and that's why the Oricani Mountains are further east in relation to the Misty Mountains than the Blue Mountains are on the west. So we just wouldn't be able to get the Oricani Dwarves in without a phenomenal break to the lore. I mean, we've added in a few units that we have said are from the Oricani Mountains, and you can get them as Erebor, as I'm sure you're all aware. And we have added those in just a sort of nod to the fact that the Oricani do exist. But the faction just would be such a break to the lore. But in answer to the original question, I would like to see an Oricani faction. And I know that the PCP mod, Perilicious Combination Pack or something like that. I can't remember what PCP stands for. The first word is definitely Perilicious. But they add an Oricani factions as well as creature factions and all sorts. But I never really got on with the PCP mod, but it certainly has a lot of innovative tricks and mechanics. So it's well worth having a look at, especially if you like dragons and bats and all those sorts of things. And speaking of bats, somebody did also ask if we would add giant bats to the mod, as they said that a mod for Warhammer, a Warhammer mod for Med 2 adds giant bats, and they wondered would we add giant bats. And the answer is no. Because yes, they add giant bats, but they still act like units that actually walk on the floor, and it just so happens that the southern portion of their model is invisible. And I just don't think they look. I just never think they look that good. So essentially, they fly over the enemy, and then enemies just die underneath them. Or you can make them fly low enough to attack the enemy. But I never think they look good. And for want of a better word, I always think they look tacky. So I'm never in favour of adding creature-style mods, such as dragons, eagles, and bats. So no, they won't make They won't be seen. I have come into the mountain after saying that I wouldn't come into the mountain because I realised me just talking for 5 minutes and staring at our army outside the mountain would be rather dull. But I don't want to senselessly waste my units just because the game refuses to attack me. But maybe we'll try and tease them into coming down one of these aisles. Send a unit of archers forward and start wreaking some havoc. This is very annoying when the computer does this. They attacked us. And whether it's the pathfinding of the settlement that means that they're not attacking, I'm not really sure, but whatever reason, they don't think they don't either don't think they can get to us, or I'm not really sure, but we have no need when that timer reaches 0, which is now only maybe in terms of actual time maybe 2 minutes away. We'll win. But as I say, I think it will count it as a draw. But they don't even have any archers, so I could stand here and do this all day, and they have nothing to counter me with. I mean, we'll run away when we get the chance to. How are the other 124 doing? Stand ready to support the rest of them. Right, they're coming really slowly. Don't tell me you're going to stop if I start running. Oh my word, what on earth is going on here? Oh, and there's a big rock in the middle. I apologise heartily, everyone. We'll carry on firing then. Oh, we're almost there. The counter is reaching the bottom. They've stopped again. I don't want to lose anyone. Ideally. Oh well, we lulled them into coming round and they've come round and then all died, so that's worth it. Dancing. Oh, come on. Just one man. Kill that one man, please. See? This is how arrows get wasted. I mean, we don't have anyone else to shoot, so it doesn't really matter. But this is how to waste all your arrows with a unit just focuses on a single man. I wonder if we can get there in time. The timer should pop up any second.
Neither the vanquisher nor the vanquished. Only death.
Thought it would end in a draw. It's just nonsense. We just killed a whole unit of his, and it just I've just lost my words. Goblin-town might be a terribly fun battle map to play when you actually assault it, but apparently if you are on the outside, it's not so great.
The enemy lays siege to our people.
High pass besieged, that's correct.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, you'll be pleased to know that the Dorwinian bug that
As
you're all
you wish.
experiencing, whereby it
I
pops
shall
up and
continue
tells you
tomorrow.
Dorwinian are resplendent or Dorwinian diminish.
Your orders, my lord.
That message will not pop up continuously because
Concealing
I've already
troops
fixed
by
it in the
your order.
files. So, and this game is new.
Yes,
This
my
campaign is new. Sorry, so it won't take effect. Right, I've just seen this guy at Dwinberg.
Have a taste of my
Gazul.
blade.
Dwinberg will get a garrison, but at the minute doesn't have very many troops. I'm tempted to pull out of Roscovel because if he's going to do that for 11 or so turns, then it's a massive waste of having units here. But we could also use them to take something from Tol Guldur.
Your orders, my
We shall prevail.
Yes, my lord.
To battle.
Your orders, my lord.
3 turns. Oh, I should have
Yes,
had him
my lord.
building that. 4 turns.
To battle.
Oh, it'll end in
Yes.
2 turns anyway. Well, we've finally taken Enethar, which is good.
Your orders,
I'm tempted
my
to
lord.
send Breeren to Dwinberg. Forodrine has quite a lot of warning if the orcs come, but Fenberg doesn't. So
Yes, my lord.
if Breeren
Your
heads to
orders, my
Dwinberg
lord.
now, Folkred
Yes,
will
my
build a
lord.
tower and then head to Fenberg. We'll continue besieging Goblin-town. I mean, we got a free kill out of it, so there's no reason to stop.
Your will, my lord.
Might as
My
well shift
lord.
everything at it, to be honest, mightn't we? There's absolutely no reason to not try and take that with everything we've got.
Orders, my lord. Yes.
Especially as with the
Mounting
small army
armies,
that's
my
in there
lord.
now, and the Beornings added to that army, I
Your
think I could
orders,
probably
my
win that.
lord.
Have a taste of my
We have got to kill
blade.
Muzzlug. Oh, he's got a
I'm gonna
general's bodyguard with
stick
him.
you.
Yes, my lord. My lord. Your orders, my
Alright,
lord.
let's send Gleowine down to Muzzlug, fight that battle, and that will end the
Yes, my
video.
lord.
As you command.
Muzzlug and Zaglug together have over 1,500. 1,602 potentially, if my mathematics is correct. We only have 360 men. And some of those are coming in as reinforcements. He's got 2 generals, bodyguards, javelins, and goblin infantry. And he's just got a score of infantry. Is 55 Éothéod cavalry with Gleowine at their head enough to kill both of those armies? I'm not so sure.
Attack.
Let's find out. We've got those 2 extra units supporting us this time, but this may be a battle too far for Gleowine.
Units, await my orders.
Where are our reinforcements coming in? That's a better question. Pause. Oh, they're coming in from our left. But he won't get reinforcements for a while.
Come on.
So charge straight away. Take the pikemen off of that when they arrive. Silent forces. Oh, yes, of course. There's some sort of odd bug that means reinforcements never have a voice. Oh, solid charge. How many did it get? Oh, I need 10. Charge out. Do not get sucked in. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea at all why that is the case. But for whatever reason, reinforcements do not have voices. They will never answer you back. Here are our reinforcements. Éothéod footmen with the pike. They used to be called Roscabel sentries or Roscabel wardens or something like that. But they were changed to Éothéod mostly because Roscabel is I mean the name means brown village, but also the only person that lives there is Radagast. He doesn't have a big army, he doesn't have a lot of men, so having a specific unit to defend it just seemed a bit not realist, not true, for want of a better word. So they were added to the Éothéod bracket. And also as well because when they were Roscabel units, they were only available in Roscabel, and it added again to the Anduin's AOR restrictions. Initially, the Anduin had such heavy AOR restrictions that really all you could train were your basic militias, and everything else came from a single location. So that was edited. I mean, I was a little in favour of making it reasonably strict, because I like every faction to feel different. I like them to really feel different. I want you to appreciate what units you would want. So we see a lot of people saying like, oh, I think Dorwinian need an early spear unit, for example, and that just makes me pleased that they don't have an early spear unit, because it means that there's something in the Dorwinian faction that's missing, as it were. It gives you have to think around that problem. And I want every faction to be like that. I want every faction to feel unique. I want them to make you think about, come at each battle and come at each problem from a different way. And part of the problem for the Anduin was that most of your units come from quite far away, and that's what you have to get around. Your bulk of your army are militia, but your elite units come from your like far off homeland, and you have to sort of work out how you're going to get around that. Alright, let's hit those javelins once more, so that they can't do too much damage, and as at the minute they are out on a limb.
Pray something
pull back.
changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems
Put those
almost certain.
slightly on the side. His reinforcements are still a long way off. He's not going to hit our pikes though, so if we angle them like that, speed it up. Fire at will, men. Alright, the wardens will then defend, and we'll flank whoever comes at them. So we got them engaged with the pikemen, that's good, and the wardens getting another javelin throw off. Speed it up. Hit those infantry in the side.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Good kill.
They have lost half their men.
Pull through. They have used up all their... Are they fighting anyone still? 23 goblin infantry. Pull out over there. Defensive stance. Hit those in the back.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Perfect. Muslug's been killed.
Our ally
And
lies
has
dead.
lagged us.
Without their general, they may lose heart and flee.
So both named generals have died, but the captain of the
The enemy
reinforcements is
army
dead, but that's
flees
not a
the
problem.
field. Pursue and run them down.
Take it off of ×6. What's coming? Goblins, goblins, goblins. Get you guys lined up. And you sort of angled on the flank to support. Speed it up. You can keep chasing them. Don't worry about the bodyguards though, because without the actual general, a bodyguard army disbands, as I'm sure you are all aware. Snagger skirmish is effectively taken out of the game. That's good. Pull away, Gleowine. Pull away. Ah, no, we've easily won this. The cavalry might get a bit tired, but it doesn't impact how effective their charging is. That's the
Only
archers
half
dealt
the
with.
enemy force remains. For the moment,
come
the
back and hit
fortune of
them.
battle goes our way. Let's pray it remains. Our army is tiring.
Oh, crushing.
The enemy general flees like the coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his army.
Alright, the archers are still fighting, so...
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
And we caught the enemy captain.
Our
Oh,
foe
wonderful
is
victory.
Utterly vanquished. Let all who remember this day remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
585 men fell, 576, over 1,100 odd. And we only lost 134. And without a doubt, the Éothéod cavalry. 264, more than the other two put together. Excuse me, sorry. So yet again, we've dusted up the orcs of the Misty Mountains and
Prime position.
shown them that we are not to be trifled with. Oh, they accepted the ransom. Yes.
Glory, honor, victory.
Yes, that's very good news.
Have a taste of my blade.
I'll happily take 1,588 just so that you can have that 2-star general back.
Stick you.
Your orders,
I'll
my
tell you what,
Have a
Lagdash,
taste of my
actually.
blade.
Let's capture you
We
again.
shall engage. We attack.
Mop up those that ran away, and then that will end the video. Little longer than planned, 32-ish minutes. Alright, line up in a line,
The
start
enemy
the
are
battle.
bringing in reinforcements.
There is nothing to fear now, just charge straight at them and do what you do best. Now hopefully they'll arrive just at the front at the
The
same
tide
time.
of battle seems to
Yeah.
have turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
Right, the general's been destroyed. He's not been captured or killed yet, but his whole battalion has fallen. We'll happily just stay in melee for that one. Oh, he's over here.
Good tidings. The enemy general
And
lies
he's
dead.
dead. Now, where's the others coming from? One battalion of... Oh, no. It's not a single battalion, but... We'll walk towards them for now. We'll come over that hill any moment now. There we are. Now charge. They've turned to face. Oh,
The battle seems to be
crushing.
swinging in our favour. From such time, the battle is very much in our favour. Victory will
These
mean
Éothéod
slaying
cavalry.
the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight. The enemy army
Don't
flees
let
the
anyone get
field.
away this time.
Pursue and run them down. The enemy are utterly
Phenomenal.
vanquished.
Phenomenal.
This
Two
is a
men lost.
great
They're all
victory,
dead.
worthy of only the
I would just reiterate again, though, that the Éothéod cavalry come in very, very late at the end of the game for the Vale of Anduin. After the barracks event, they're only trainable in like 4 or 5 regions. So whilst it may seem very
There is no
overpowered for a
glory.
Wildmen faction, you must bear in mind these are the only cavalry unit you get until about turn 70 odd.
We have triumphed.
Or the only Éothéod cavalry you get. There are 2 other cavalry units that I can train that come from the ancillary training ground. The Herders and the Outriders, but neither are anywhere as near as good as those Éothéod cavalry. Right, now we've got some money. Let's build some money-producing buildings. Meithelberg does not have a meeting hut, so I'll take a meeting hut there. Oh, we can retrain in Framsberg. Yeah, I'll get some woodman warriors. Ah, Framsberg can't even recruit anything. But it's got land clearance. Oh, that only gives me 1 recruitment slot, of course. He's being queued, isn't he? Then I'll train them. Get an extra unit up there. I don't know what the money situation will be. That's not reminiscent of what it will actually be. So we won't know. But that seems to be all that we can do this time around. So we continue waiting out.
Yes, my
Radagast has
lord.
moved. Dolguldur has not attacked.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, Folkbred, build us your tower.
This tower
And then
will
head to
keep
Fenberg.
vigil over the lands.
Your orders, my lord.
And that is where I shall end this episode. So, as ever, thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you very much for the support over the Anduin videos. It's been overwhelmingly positive, and I thank you for that indeed a great deal. Do feel free to ask any lore questions you want, and I'll get round to answering them, or indeed any modding questions that you want, say from how do I do XYZ. If you do have a modding question related to how you actually do something, I would request that you write that on Total War Center, so that rather than send it to me in like a private YouTube message or whatever, Just post it on Total War Center and you'll find many people who can answer actual modding questions.
Yes, my lord.
But if you want to ask me something,
With
feel free to pop
honour.
it in the comments and I'll get round to answering it. The comments sections now are getting so vast that it's becoming very difficult to answer each and every comment. But if there's a unique comment or something I've not seen before, I will happily answer it and make note of it. But for now, that will end this episode. So I do hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And until we speak again, dear friends, Nevar Naden Pedimat Melonin, and farewell.